After the Cubs dispatched the Phillies, winning 2 out of 3, the Pirates have invaded Wrigley Field. It is the first of a 3-game weekend series. We had some rain earlier today, but we will get started on time. We should be in fine shape. Big crowd expected. Pirates and Cubs. Game 1 coming up on NBC Sports Chicago. Great to have you with us. A little bit on the cool side, and the Cubs will try to beat up on Chad Kuhl a little later. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. Mike Montgomery will start for the 3rd time. He's in for Yu Darvish, and the reason the Cubs have won 9 of 11 is the rotation has really stabilized.
Yeah, and Montgomery's been a big part of it. He's made 2 starts so far, and he's thrown the ball very well both times. Last time out, he was up against Jacob deGrom, a pitching duel in New York, and he really stood tall in that game. His first start came against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. He retired the first 13 men he faced in that game, ended up allowing no runs in 5 2/3. Fastball, changeup, curveball, all working so far for Montgomery. You see the numbers for 2 starts, an 0.77 ERA. Chad Kuhl against the Cubs back in Pittsburgh, solid. He's had a lot of tough outings against them in his career, but the last couple have been very good.
And by the way, loving the deep voice today.
Yeah, I got a little Lou Rawls going. I'm feeling you'll never find.
Yes, you're going to croon a little later. The Pirates got off to a really good start, and at one point they were in first place. They're now 6 games out.
Yeah, and as you would expect, struggling in all phases of the game. 26-17 was their high water mark of the season. 9 games better than 500. Since then, just 5-14. The offense that was so good early has struggled. The pitching has struggled. Bullpen in particular, with an ERA approaching 6.
As you look at their offense, they've really been carried by their catcher, Francisco Cervelli. He's already got 9 home runs. His previous career high was 7, and he had a huge series here at Wrigley back in April.
Yeah, he's changed his approach. He's added a leg kick. He's lifting the ball. He's hitting the ball in the air a lot more than he ever has before. He's not just hitting it in the air. He's hitting it in the air hard, so the slugging numbers way up for Cervelli. Corey Dickerson, another guy who's having a really good year.
And Chris Bryant in the leadoff spot.
Yeah,
today.
that's kind of interesting. You know, Joe wants his contact guys at the top of the order. He's got his swing and miss guys, Baez and Happ down near the bottom. And I think what Joe's thinking here is I'm going to try to get as many men on base in front of Anthony Rizzo the way he's been swinging it.
Cubs just a half game behind first place Milwaukee, but they're actually 1 up in the loss column. The Brewers will be in Philadelphia tonight. And when we return, Doug Glanville will join me and we'll break down Anthony Rizzo's hot stretch. That coming up as we get you set for the Pirates and the Cubs. Go to jeffbook.com or follow him on social media nationwide. He is on your side. Great to have Doug Glanville with us once again today, and I don't think too many people inside the Cubs clubhouse were overly concerned as Anthony Rizzo was at 149 through the end of April, and man, has he been great since the start of May.
Well, really, he has picked it up, and we've recognized he is sort of that heartbeat of the lineup, the stability, the consistency, the short stroke when he needs to beat the shift. But look at what he's done since that time. We talk about May, the power game, 128 bats since May 1st, 317, the power game coming up, 608 slugging. He's really found that drive, and we saw it against the Phillies in that series, those home runs he hit on pitches they tried to jam him in. Now you look at how he does it. The first time through, that's where he does the most damage, the 4 home runs in the 38 at-bats for a 421 clip. And he slows down a little bit as he gets to the second, third time around, but he sets that tone early on, putting up possibly a crooked number or the power game to put runs on the board quickly. But of course, Anthony Rizzo is not just this offensive player. He does so many other things for this team. The defense in particular, just the hands, the cat-like reflexes, and also what's not noticed as much is how much he picks the ball out of the dirt. So Russell, Baez, he really is that guy. You can release the ball quickly and throw it in his vicinity, and he's going to close out the play. Just a tremendous all-around talent and a primetime player, and we're seeing it now since May.
One of your contemporaries, Derek Lee, I thought was the best first baseman I had seen in terms of feeds to the pitcher. And Anthony's probably just as good.
Yeah, he's fantastic in so many ways. I mean, you see the lateral range. He's a left-hander. He's going to his right and able to spin and throw, accurate at the same time, and just makes it comfortable for the pitchers to cover the base very easily. And when you combine that with all the picks he makes at first and the sort of thinking 2 steps ahead, this is a complete player.
The word intimidation is not one you often hear in baseball in terms of a hitter, but man, he crowds the plate. He's a huge guy, and he doesn't take any grief from the other team either.
Right, well, that's true. He's definitely the lifeline in that. Don't mess with Anthony Rizzo. But that's the thing. He's so on top of the plate that if you miss in, you hit him, and he's not afraid to do that. And if you miss away, you get into that hot zone, and then he takes you deep, especially now since May. He's gotten hot.
All right, last thing, Chris Bryant leading off for the first time in the big leagues, used to hitting second or third. Do you expect him to approach it any differently?
No, I don't think so. He's naturally sort of the type of hitter that can handle that. He takes a lot of pitches already. He understands the strike zone, and he's also a fantastic base runner. So when you think of speed, he may not be a blazer, but he has good speed for a big guy, but he gets that extra base as if he's a burner because he's so smart on the bases. So he's really a good fit, I think, and plus you make a mistake, it's 1-0.
Yeah, and he doesn't mind moving around defensively. Joe will start him in the outfield on occasion, so hitting first should not be a huge deal. That's Doug Glanville. We'll hear more from Doug during the game, and let's send it down to the field for our national anthem.
At this time, please remain standing and join Wayne Mesmer as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does stars, that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Stuckmeyer getting ready for the Cubs and Pirates. Should be fun right here on NBC Sports Chicago this Friday afternoon. We've had a lot of drama between these two teams, a lot of excitement. It was just last weekend. Let's take a look at the Xfinity high-speed action and remind you of what's been going on between the Cubs and Pirates this season. First, it was Anthony Rizzo sliding into home, trying to break up a double play. Certainly wasn't a dirty play, but was it legal? Well, that depends on who you ask. And then the tension carried over later in the series. Javi Baez having words at second base with Joe Musgrove. Benches cleared, cooler heads prevailed. Joe Maddon's dealt with this before, and division rivals too. He had a situation just like this back in his Tampa days.
I don't feel that. I mean that there is like this tremendous edginess or chippiness about the series. I don't feel it. I think sometimes it can happen from within when you have impressionable players. If maybe a staff wanted to generate that thought process and try to get a team a little bit more. Listen, I did that with the Rays, quite frankly, and the 6s and the 7s, and then to the 8s when you're trying to supplant Boston and New York. Maybe I was a little bit more into that stuff back then. So just up to the guy in charge and the staff in charge. I'm not talking about hurting people either. I'm just talking about how we're going to approach the day. It's the message. It's how do you bring the message apart. And then to me, the best manifestation of the message is, simply put, how hard the team plays. That's it. I'm not looking, like I said, for injuring a hitter or whether it's on a slide or a pitch or whatever. It's about the effort given on every single play.
And we expect the fun to continue today at Wrigley Field. Cubs and Pirates coming up next. Len and JD are back with the call.
AT Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
Back here inside the friendly confines, and we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Reynolds Cable in Reynolds, Illinois. Season series tied 3-3. The road team has won each of the first 2 sets. Pirates here in April, and the Cubs more recently in Pittsburgh. This is the only matinee around baseball. Everything else will be later tonight, as left-hander Mike Montgomery will get set to face the following Pirates Southwest starting lineup. They're in danger of falling beneath 500 for the first time this season. Josh Harrison, the 2-time All-Star, leads off. Austin Meadows, I keep saying it, the hockey reference. Starling Marte in center. Francisco Cervelli loves hitting in this ballpark. He's in the cleanup spot. Corey Dickerson with a 7-game hitting streak is in left. David Freese is playing first base today. Colin Moran over third. Jordy Mercer, the shortstop, and Chad Kuhl, the pitcher, batting ninth.
And we'll check the Cubs defensively this afternoon. Ian Happ gets a start in left field. Albert Almora Jr. center. Jason Hayward is the right fielder. Bryant Baez, Zobrist Rizzo on the infield. Wilson Contreras behind the plate. And the Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher for the Cubs this afternoon is the 28-year-old left-hander Mike Montgomery. 2 starts, 18 times out of the pen, 1-1 with a 3.89 earned run average.
Your umpires, that's Chad Fairchild back of the plate. Doug Eddings will handle first. Jansen Visconti at second base, unfamiliar with his work. Joe West, the crew chief, is over at third.
That's one of the all-time great names for an umpire, Jansen Visconti. Well, if Mike Montgomery is on his game, there'll be plenty of action for the infielders. The ground ball rate up over 63%. Were just incredible. The sinker, changeup, curveball, all those pitches typically get hit on the ground a lot. The curveball not so much this year. But the fastball command opens up the door for him. He's got command of the heater. The changeup and the curveball really play.
We are underway. Just missed low to Harrison. Ground ball pulled foul. "59 degrees. Northeast breeze at 7. Got a cool homestand for sure. Soft little liner is going to drop for a base hit. Perfectly placed by Josh Harrison. He could not have literally lobbed a ball into a better area for a base hit.
No, you could watch baseball for 100 years and not see a hit like this from a right-handed hitter. With this trajectory and where this ball landed. That was funky, but effective for Harrison.
So the leadoff man is aboard. And here is Austin Meadows, the National League Rookie of the Month for May, at .409 in 13 games. This is only his 19th career contest. He's playing right.
Harrison with 1 steal this year. He's only tried the 1 time. You think that might be in play with Montgomery on the mound with all the ground balls he gets.
Hit hard and past Baez. Harrison's going to try to make third. Here comes Happ's throw, and it's cut off by Baez. And the Pirates have him cornered with nobody out. A little blooper and a much harder hit for Meadows.
Pinching toward the bag for the double play, opens up a little room on the left side of the infield. Meadows does a nice job exploiting it. He's been something else since being called up from the minor leagues. Montgomery with an early crisis to deal with here.
And yes, that is the voice of Jim Deshaies. We have some people wondering. You're feeling good? Battling through it. Starling Marte takes a strike from Montgomery.
Yeah, I either have to go deep or I'm going to squeak and nothing will come out.
We've got viewers watching us on MLB Network today. Welcome. ESPN UK and around the world on the Armed Forces Network. Welcome.
Well, those guys failed to check the weather before they came to the ballpark today.
Or
they just don't care.
They just don't care. Two strikes on Marte. Here's the pitch. Too high. 1-2. The guy's got a pretty quick bat based on where he stands in the batter's box. And he does not have his back foot even close to the chalk. Golfed high in the air, deep left center. It's playable for Almora. And here comes Harrison. Meadows will hold it first. 1-0 Pirates on a sac fly by Starling Marte.
Yeah, good work there by Marte, getting that low ball in the air, getting something done with 2 strikes. First blood for the Pirates. It's a changeup. Just a good job. Quiet lower body, thinking big part of the field, not going to roll over and hit it on the ground.
Marte with his 25th RBI. Cervelli in early April here at Wrigley, 3 games, 6 for 12, a triple, 2 homers, and 7 knocked in.
Well, Cervelli, he's been around long enough now where You know, he's one of those guys you think you would be able to make the claim as, you know, you are who you are on the back of your baseball card based on what you've done statistically throughout your career, but that is not the case for Cervelli. He's taking a quantum leap forward.
His first homer of the season came on April 10th. And it was off Montgomery. Under the bleachers in left center.
He's always been a guy who would take his walks, hit line drives, hit for a decent average, but the power numbers are off the charts this year.
Here's the pitch. 1-2 the count. And Cervelli. 2 starts for Montgomery, a 0.77 going in, 18 relief appearances, a 5.33. Trying to beat Pittsburgh for the 3rd time. Runner takes off, pitch inside, the throw in time from his knees. Wilson Contreras nabs Meadows, who's not convinced.
Yeah, Meadows going to wait and see if the Pirates decide to challenge this. This is pretty impressive by Contreras. Just a little weight shift, and then he unloads. It looked like Meadows was going to be able to beat it. But the great throw, the quick tag, and he is out.
So 2 outs, bases cleared. And a ground ball is scooped by the Cubs leadoff man today. And he will bat first because he's the leadoff man. 1-0 Pirates opening inning. They've got a new leadoff man, at least for today. Chris Bryant, Jason Hayward, the big game-ending grand slam 2 nights ago. Zobrist, Rizzo, Contreras, and Almora in the middle. The NL RBI leader batting 7th. That's Javier Baez. Ian Happ playing left. And pitching is Mike Montgomery.
Pirates defensively this afternoon. Corey Dickerson plays left. Martes, the center fielder. Austin Meadows in right. Moran Mercer, Harrison Freeze third to first. Francisco Cervelli has thrown out 35%, trying to run on him this year. The Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher for the Pirates is Chad Kuhl. He's having a nice year. This is start number 13 for him. 4-3 with a 3.86 earned run average. He's got a 280 over his last 6 starts. His last 3, 18 innings pitched, 4 runs total allowed.
6'3", 216 pounds. And Bryant first pitch swinging, base hit to left. They love it in the dugout. He's batting 1,000 as the Cubs leadoff man. Whenever Joe's done this, whether it's Rizzo or Contreras and now Bryant, it always seems to work out. And the leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. And Chris Bryant supplying a hit. So Binny's donates $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
A 7-game hitting streak for KB now. Doing a ton of damage, but he's getting his hits.
Hayward batting .389 over his last 8 games. And fouls it back to the screen. He was off yesterday after this huge home run to beat the Phillies.
That's why I can't talk. I was screaming and yelling when he did that.
Maybe that's the genesis. It was worth it.
Got a couple 3-hit games against the Pirates already this year. And dating back to last summer, his last 14 games against the Pirates, he's hitting better than .360. This year, last 8 games, a .389 batting average. League bats .254 against Cool. Left-right splits fairly even. .256 for the left-handed batters, .252 for the righties. And contrary to Montgomery, he's much more of a fly ball pitcher than a ground ball guy.
A kick and the 0-2 is popped up, and that will get back out of play over the on-deck circle on the left side.
He's got a good arm. Average fastball velocity right around 95 miles per hour. Hard slider. He gets a lot of swings and misses on his slider. Good tight curveball that he throws hard. He also has a changeup.
Freeze holds on Bryant at first. Another 0-2. Fair. Joe West with a call. Hayward on his way to second. He'll slide in with a double.
That gets the fans worked up here early on. Cubs trying to answer that singleton that the Pirates put up in the top of the inning, and they're in great shape to do so. This two-seamer moving away from Hayward, trying to pull it. Nothing good happens, but stay on it. Maybe a little bit behind it, but it pays off right down the line. Look out, Joe.
And the Pirates will play their infield back against Zobrist. Second and third, no outs. And hitting third today, 1 for 10 in the Phillies series. And he shoots that one into center. Bryant scores. Hayward's going to stop at third. And we're tied at 1. That didn't take long.
No, sir.
Still no outs. And the batter, Anthony Rizzo. Talked about him with Doug Glanville. And first at bat against a starter, he's done a lot of damage. In these 2 days, he's hit go-ahead home runs, 10 on the year. And now 175 with the Cubs. He hit 1 as a Padre, passed Andre Dawson for 13th on the Cubs franchise list.
Such a unique player because of his power, but his approach is that of a high average hitter. He walks as much as he strikes out.
Fly to left. Dickerson makes the catch. Hayward tagging. And the throw cut off by Moran. Zobrist will get the second as well. 2-1. So Rizzo with go-ahead RBIs each of the last 3 days.
Deep enough to score. Hayward shallow enough where Dickerson thought he might have a shot at him, so he makes the throw home, and that allows Zobrist to get into second base. The best of both worlds for the Cubs there. 1 in and 1 into scoring position.
It was deep enough to get Hayward home, but it was shallow enough for Dickerson to think he might have a shot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an ideal area.
And that's, it's an outfielder. You have to know your own capabilities out there. Do you have a legitimate shot at making a play on a guy? If you do, go for it. But if you don't, you do run the risk of putting another man in scoring position.
Wilson Contreras takes ball 1.
That fly ball's a little bit deeper. Dickerson just catches it and throws it into second base, and they still have a double play in order.
And the overall number is really bad for Kuhl against the Cubs, but he pitched well in Pittsburgh in his last start against the Cubs and didn't get any run support.
And the last time we saw him last year, he pitched really well. But overall, 1-5 with a 7.02 in his career against the Cubs. Winless in 3 starts here with a 4.73.
Missed again inside. 97. 2 balls, no strikes. Wind blowing in today. Sky's brightening a little bit. Lights are on. We had rain this morning. Originally, word was we might not start on time. But then the rain went away, and sure enough, we got it going at 1:20 as scheduled. Popped him up on the infield. Freeze will make the play. 2 down. Now it's Albert Almora, 8th in the NL with his .314 batting average. First pitch, swing and a miss.
That's a good tight slider from Kuhl. 88 on the plate, but below the knees. That'll generate some swings and misses.
That clipped him. Almora will reach, and it'll bring up Javier Baez.
So everybody will be on high alert with everything that has gone down between these two clubs here. Anytime somebody gets hit or knocked off the plate, I wonder what the intent was.
Baez playing shortstop again as Addison Russell continues his day-to-day finger issue. He did take some swings in a sim game today. Live BP, however you want to call it. It was Drew Smiley working his way back. That one clubbed to left, and he hit it foul.
The book on Baez is he'll chase spin out of the zone, and I think sometimes pitchers in their head, they think anything that spins is a good pitch, but if you leave it in the strike zone, you're asking for trouble.
Russell, I would assume, would be available at some point today. Off the bench. 0-1.
Joe said post-game yesterday that the sim game today would be Russell's last hurdle, and then if he passed that, yeah, he would probably not start him, and he has not started him, but he would likely be available for defense or to pinch hit late. So hopefully he came out of that feeling close to 100% and was ready to resume.
1-1 to Javi. So Cool is trying to find a strike zone again. He hit Almora. A couple of bad misses here against Baez.
Yeah, that last heater was 97 miles per hour, but he kind of cut it off. It wasn't thrown with conviction.
Two and two. Good curve that time from Cool. These runners are Zobrist at second, Almora at first. Chased one in the dirt. And the Cubs done in the first. They get a couple though and lead the Pirates 2-1.
It is time for your Miller Game Report. I'm Luke Stuckmeyer. There was something going on that was exciting even before the Cubs-Pirates game today here at Wrigley Field. It was Cubs pitcher Drew Smiley on the mound throwing to live batters for the first time since his Tommy John surgery a year ago. It was 25 pitches to his Cubs teammates, a huge step in his recovery, and Joe Madden loved it.
Put a smiley on our face. You know, he was very good. I was really impressed with the delivery, the looseness of the arm, the command of his pitches, the carry on his pitches. Everything was like right on. It was right on. There's nothing to lament. That was a great first time back for us to watch. And so it's great to build off of. I'm certain he feels great right now. He was good, very good.
And Smiley picked up the velocity the last couple of pitches. Didn't fully snap the curveballs, but he said, you know what, that's going to be next time. He was very excited. Did it in front of Cubs brass. And guys, the only question I have is, who was dressed up as the zebra behind home plate?
Thank you, Luke. Sharply hit bouncer off the mound, and Baez just couldn't make the play. And I don't know if he had a play to make. Dickerson's got an 8-game hitting streak.
Yeah, Baez with his arm strength might have been able to make a play. A heck of an effort. Dickerson as a left-handed batter, hitting .348 against left-handed pitching prior to that swing of the bat.
Yeah, baby steps for Drew Smiley, and if we do see him back on the active roster this summer, and that is his hope, probably out of the bullpen, but maybe as a starter.
Yeah, you know,
who knows?
I was talking to Joe about him, and he said, you know, he really knows how to pitch. He's a good competitor.
That ball will be down for a hit. Throw to second is late. Dickerson wasn't sure, I wasn't either, whether or not Happ was going to make the catch. And for the second consecutive inning, the Pirates have 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, it happens quickly. Pirates very aggressive here, swinging early against Montgomery. Dickerson plays it just right, far enough where he has a fighting chance to get back to first if Happ catches this ball, and just barely able to beat it once the ball gets down.
Colin Moran. So left-handed batter went in there against Montgomery. Freeze at first for the struggling Josh Bell today.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see Sean Rodriguez in the starting lineup when there's a lefty on the mound, and he's on the bench today as well.
Four hits already for the Pirates. Cubs picked up 3. Cool in the first. Missed away. 2 balls, no strikes. Jordy Mercer, the shortstop, on deck. Bounce toward the middle, should be 2. That goes 6-3. A big double play, and now the Pirates will have to get it done with 2 outs and a man at third.
And that goes back to the profile on Montgomery with all the balls on the ground. The double play always in play.
I'd say that was routine, but Baez would have made that play easily without a glove. Now that'd be some Omar Vizquel stuff, right? Just a slow bouncer, just drop the glove, barehanded.
Barehanded, go to the bag.
Just because you can. Swing and a miss. And the curveball 0-2. We'd love to get Mercer here and face the pitcher to lead off the next inning.
Ooh.
Turned into a nice day. It is on the cool side, but considering how much rain we got earlier, sun's starting to peek through the clouds. Ooh, we'll take it.
I think he wants to go away. Just a hunch. Nope. Now they're going to throw a hook.
Also got a piece of it, and fortunately for the Cubs, it was foul.
Yeah, this is a situation with the 8-hole hitter up there, man on third base. You don't have to give in to Mercer, continue to try to make pitchers pitches throughout this sequence. It's not an automatic put them on, though. Cool can handle the bat a little bit, and you're only in the second inning. And as you mentioned, you'd love to have the opposing pitcher leading off the next.
Score 1-2 on the veteran shortstop. He clipped him, and Mercer will reach. 2 hit batters in the early going. Just glancing blows.
Might have been jersey only.
So it is the pitcher Cool, 3 for 17 on the year. You know what he can do, JD? He can help his own cause.
Good, yeah.
Montgomery trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Why isn't it help his team's cause? A starting pitcher, it's always to help his cause.
We are, as a breed, we are selfish.
Very selfish lot. Just one of starting pitchers.
You're going to saddle us with wins and losses. We're going to get greedy.
Fouled back, 1-1.
Yeah. If we could take the Brian Kenny approach and eliminate the win as a stat, then we'd be more selfless.
There's a 1-1 ground ball. Baez will flip. Zobrist at the bag. Nice work by Montgomery after the Pirates put 2 on with no outs to escape with no damage. Chicago's favorite sports trivia show where fans are put to the test for a chance to take home cash. Play along Sunday at 6:30 on NBC Sports Chicago. And Cub fans, summer is here. And the Cubs want everybody in. Join your teammates at Wrigley Field. Tickets are going fast. It's still time to get seats, especially for the 2-game 4th of July series against the Detroit Tigers. Plan now. Get your tickets at Cubs.com. It is Jim DeShays.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing out there tonight? I'm digging my new voice.
Yeah, it happens once a year usually to broadcasters. You have that little frog in your throat. To battle through it.
Yeah, I apologize. It can't be fun to listen to. So I will try to save my voice for only really pertinent information, or singing like Lou Rawls anytime a Cub hits a home run.
Strike one on Ian Happ. Now you're like Harry Doyle's sidekick now from Major League. He sat there and stared at him. Tough day for Ian yesterday. 0 for 3.
Chad is really cool.
With the 3 strikeouts. He is a Pittsburgh native. Roller coaster first half. A recent downturn after a hot stretch. That ball hit the deep center. Marte on the track has just enough room. I'm just going to say it's not easy for Happ. He has not been an everyday player. And Joel trying to find ways to get him in the lineup as he works through this recent slump, but a good swing of the bat there.
Yeah, it's an interesting conundrum for him too, because it's tougher to groove your swing obviously when you're playing sporadically, and he's got a lot of swing and miss in his game to begin with. But the power potential is always there. He has shown the ability to take the walk, still working a very high strikeout rate. Oh, cool. Could use a quick one after working awfully hard in the first.
1-2 on Montgomery. Delaware native fires outside.
That 9th rounder by the Pirates out of the University of Delaware, 2013. He's from Bear, Delaware. B-E-A-R. You get the sense that he just tried to throw the last 3 pitches 120 miles an hour.
All the way. Another 3-2 on the way. He walked him. Want to send out happy 27th birthday wishes. The Cubs coordinator of media relations, Alex Wilcox. It was great work. Happy birthday, Alex. Pitcher and catcher will discuss before Bryant bats. He swung at the first pitch from Cool and singled in his first career plate appearance as a Cubs leadoff man. Mostly second and third in his big league career to date.
It was a pitcher walk that was the undoing of Nick Pivetta of the Phillies yesterday. He walked Brian Dunsing in the 5th inning. Cubs ended up scoring 3 in that frame. Otherwise, he was really good yesterday.
Strike one on Chris. Well, his hometown Golden Knights came also close, but congrats to the Washington Capitals, Stanley Cup champs. And what a year for Vegas. Expansion team getting all the way to the Stanley Cup final.
I don't know what the odds were for them to just reach the final, but I heard that it was 500 to 1 for them to win the Stanley Cup at the start of the year.
Hold on the ground, foul to third.
Cool has all the tools, doesn't he? I mean, 97 on the fastball. The curveball, he hasn't used that much, but it's a good-looking pitch. We talked about the slider earlier.
Bounce toward the hole. Backhanded play, Mercer. No play to make. Bryant's got a second hit.
Yeah, there was going to be no play on Bryant. He probably felt like he had a fighting chance with the pitcher running there at first base, Montgomery. But that all goes away on the transfers. He can't get it cleanly out of the glove. That scrappy little leadoff man.
Hayward now doubled down the left field line and then scored on the Rizzo sac fly. 2-1 Cubs, bottom 2 in the opener of this series. Line to left, and Montgomery will stop at third. Well, that pitcher walk really coming back to haunt Cool now. Bases loaded for Zobrist.
Hayward continues to do good work the other way. This is lack of command for Cool. They're trying to crowd him a little bit. It's a two-seamer that leaks out over the plate, and that really plays to the strength of Jason Hayward. Carves it to left. Quick stop sign from Butterfield with Montgomery running, and comes Ray Searage. There's already been one mound visit from the catcher in this inning, and now Searage, the pitching coach, out for a few words of advice.
While we have a moment, as you enjoy a cold Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later on in today's game. So they break up the meeting. Bryant, Hayward, Zobrist, top 3 men in the Cubs order, have combined for a 5-for-5 start for this ball game. Three on, one away. The pitch way outside.
Beefy numbers with the bases loaded for Zobrist.
Back.
Yes, it's such a good idea, the strike zone Ben does. He doesn't rarely, never say doesn't or never, but rarely will he chase a bad ball in a situation like this.
Cool set. And his 1-1 also fouled. 1-2 the count. Cubs have won 9 of 11. They're 11 games over 500. They have a few games in hand on Milwaukee. The Brewers are 12 over, but they have one more loss than the Cubs. And they'll start a series in Philadelphia tonight. They've lost their last 3 in a row. Up the middle, slight deflection, backhanded play. Harrison throw first, not in time. Montgomery scores, and it's 3-1. Looked like that ball may have just hit the leather of Cool to slow it down, and nice play by Harrison.
Yeah, very slick play by Harrison, but a hustling Zobrist beats the throw to first base, and the Cubs played another run.
First and third, 2 outs, and the batter is Rizzo.
series we played in Pittsburgh. When we were over there, Harrison and Baez both put on a pretty good show defensively.
One little obvious quirk about this plate appearance for Rizzo, or it should be obvious, but we never mention these types of things. Down by Cervelli is this. Anthony cannot have the same result that he had in his first plate appearance. It is impossible. Right?
To hit a sac fly with 2 outs?
He cannot hit a sac fly.
Correct.
So usually you wipe the slate clean, right? You'd say, well, he can do whatever he did his first time up. No, he can't. Outside 2-0.
He could hit a big fly.
He could. But there would be no sacrifice attached to it. Right, the joke every once in a while is, well, last time up he hit into a double play, but the good news is he can't do it this time with 2 outs. So I always try to put a positive spin on
a guy having a rough day.
On a rough at bat. Yeah.
Well, Anthony not happy with that call, and you can understand why as you check out on the pitch cast. Breaking pitch was off the plate.
Here's 2-1.
You see with Anthony a lot, because he's so close to home plate, sometimes that fools the umpire. He calls the pitch in relationship to Anthony as opposed to where it is over the plate. Not intentionally, but that's a different look for an umpire when the hitter's right on top of the plate.
Swing and a miss. Thought he was going to get 97, and instead he got 89 on a slider. Everest runs on 3-2. Rizzo strikes out. The Cubs, they'll add to their lead. After 2, it's 3-1. Cubs 3, Pirates 1. Cubs insider Doug Glanville is with us today, and a little different look at the top of the order. Bryant, Hayward, Zobrist, and they've all been really good today.
Yeah, I mean, guys, it's worked out like a charm. Chris Bryant for the first time leading off, and didn't waste any time getting his base hit. And now he's 1,000 on base percentage. That's pretty good if he keeps that up. But the top of the order has really delivered. You talk about the way they've manufactured runs, great base running. Hayward's got his 2 hits already. And Zobrist, just a solid base running, being able to move and be able to take that extra base on the hit. So you look at the complexion of this lineup, and so many different versions of it have been production and have created productive outcomes. So, and then when you look a little closer at Jason Hayward, you know, he's got these long arms of the law, so he can reach out, and then when they go away, he kind of can punch it the other way. Now this next one is a little bit of a mistake. It starts in and runs out, and he's able to stay on it, but that's a very huge adjustment he's making, because that's a high velocity pitch that he's staying on, still barreling up and using line to line. So he's taking what they're giving him the outer third, and he's driving it the other way.
2-1 on Josh Harrison, who fouls off.
What was so impressive about Jason's grand slam the other night, it came against a left-handed pitcher. It was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that was elevated a little bit. We've seen him do a fair bit of good work the other way, you know, shooting base hits to left field on fastballs out away from him, middle down. But the jump on that high heater the way that he did the other night was most impressive.
Josh Harrison 2 for 2.
Well, yeah, and I think the positive signs when you're struggling as a hitter, you know that pitch, being able to drive the ball to the opposite field, that's a good sign that your timing is on, because you have to be impeccable with your timing to be able to stay back long enough and be patient and still get the barrel out in that last second, split second when the ball's getting to the catcher's glove. So those signs tell you you're staying back, your head's on the ball, you're not pulling off. You know, it's a lot easier to not notice when you're struggling, when you're pulling the ball well and people are, you know, wearing you out on the inner third. The outer third is a different story.
Pirates have a leadoff hit in each of the first 3 innings. Meadows takes a strike. Doug, what about the adjustments, you know, for a kid like Meadows, who's been great? He's hitting .377. This is only his 19th major league game, and you're kind of on cloud 9, but invariably when enough video gets out there, other teams are going to make major adjustments.
Yeah, that's a key point. The video, the technology, the analytics, it's so quick, and it goes like wildfire into how they're going to make adjustments off of your success. And you have to be able to make the same adjustments right back. And that's the cat and mouse game of pitcher, hitter, or just major league life. It's the quick adjustments they make to you, you have to be a step ahead. And so far he's shown that, but they will continue to try to exploit or find that weakness. And once they do, everybody in that rotation, everybody on that staff is going to go after it.
0-2 the count.
And just look at the numbers for Meadows, and again, it's a pretty small sample. He hasn't been around that long, but he hasn't walked much, nor has he struck out much. So as a pitcher, that tells me this is a kid who's looking to swing the bat. So I'm going to kind of approach him, you know, like he's dangerous early. And I'm going to try to work edges. I'm not going to be too forgiving in terms of throwing the ball over the middle of the plate. I'm going to do a lot of that. Clearly, he's hitting .377, so he has the ability to go get pitches on the edges or out of the zone.
Yeah, and I think the other thing about coming up as a young player is it's easy to focus on the numbers games, the things that we spend a lot of time quantifying, batting average. But there's all these other subtleties about base running, things that are starting to slowly get metrics behind it. Defensive play. We saw earlier Meadows running at the second, stealing, and he slid really early, and it actually slowed him down that last 10 feet. And I think that cost him the stolen base. So that's a small part of a lot of parts of the game that we don't notice always.
Zobrist to Baez, and the throw off the mark may have been caused by the sliding Josh Harrison. And we'll get another look at the play at second base. Baez patted him on the backside, so clean play.
Sharply hit. It sure felt like 2.
Yeah.
Throw just sails on Javi. He had to rush it a little bit because Meadows can really get down the line.
Yeah, and he didn't really get on top of that ball. He's trying to release it as his momentum was going one way. And although you're not really allowed to take the guy out, just enough of a presence and a late enough slide where you're still within the rules can be enough of a distraction to any middle infielder. So that ball really sailed on him, and all of a sudden, extra runner on base.
No error because they did record the out at second. And Marte just missed a changeup.
Yeah, so watch his footwork here. You know, he's got that back foot already coming out. So you're really just throwing off your front foot. And so you don't have a lot on it. He's trying to get the bag. Now he's just getting out of the way almost. And you can see he didn't get totally turned and rotated enough. And the ball just sort of follows where you're facing, and hence it ended up near the dugout.
1-1 on Marte. Cubs lead 3-1. Pirates scored in the first inning. And Marte's sac fly. Cubs got 2 in the first and added 1 in the second. And fouled out of play. A cool day, little breeze. How does it feel down there, Doug?
Feels great. Feels great. It's you know, it's comfortable out here. You can see a lot of guys short sleeves over here, so sun's peeking in and out, and that's probably good that there are some clouds for the outfielder standpoint, because you saw how blinding it was yesterday against the Phillies.
2-2, missed on a curveball. Marte hasn't done a whole lot here lately, but solid season overall. 1 short DL stint due to an oblique issue. And a real dynamic player.
This is kind of the story of the Pirates. A number of their guys having pretty good years, just not so good lately. And offensively, when you look at the numbers overall, they've been good this year. Early in the year, pretty soft schedule, and I think that can get overplayed in baseball. But when you look at it, 14-22 against teams with winning records, 17-9 against teams with losing records. They beat up on Detroit and the White Sox early on.
Marte draws the walk, so 2 on for Cervelli.
Lately, they've been dealing with Cubs, Cardinals, a resurgent Dodgers team most recently.
And as you mentioned, I mean, timing can be everything. You know, you play a team when they're on fire and they're playing well, no matter if they're in last place. You know, that could be a tough matchup and cost you some ground, especially when you're talking about these division rivalries.
Yee, Doug, fire in the hole.
Just ducking. The legend of Kyle Schwarber had to
after you
lay out
yesterday
there.
too.
They're coming after me? Where?
Oh,
wow.
Man. That
Yeah.
was a little too close.
A little too close. Schwarbs, you all right there? Kyle Schwarber just coming up the tunnel, almost needed some new dental work.
And strike on Cervelli.
Okay. Yeah, they're coming after me, man. They got.
Cervelli with his first career pinch hit home run yesterday in a loss against the Dodgers. 9 on the year.
Yeah,
already a career high.
Yeah, we talked about it first time he was up there, just across the board, surging offensively.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
He dealt with injuries last year, and that may be part of the story, but I think a lot of it is just approach. We mentioned the leg kick. He's hitting the ball in the air like 20% more often than he did last year. So I think he's buying into this whole launch angle revolution.
Ground ball to third, foul. Joe West made the call.
And you see that time with 2 strikes, he didn't use the leg kick, just a toe tap. Willing to sacrifice power for contact. It's funny because you see a lot, you hear from a lot of people around the game, and they poo-poo the whole notion of launching. Well, all that is talking about trying to hit the ball hard in the air, you know, line drive and above. It's not just about trying to lift the ball out of the ballpark.
Some adjustments have been made that if Cervelli strikes out, have saved some guys' careers.
Yeah, and the thing, guys, I mean, the launch angle revolution has a lot to do with the fact that They realize when even a ball that looks like it's rising, every pitch goes down. It goes on a downhill plane. So swinging level isn't actually matching the trajectory of the ball. If the ball's going downhill and you're swinging uphill, that's actually more in line with the way the ball's traveling and much more able to keep the ball in the bat. The question now will be, as pitchers, will they start elevating and working the top of the zone, making it harder to catch that angle?
I think we're seeing that.
Yeah, a lot more four-seamers. The sinker and two-seam fastball usage is down.
Joe West said Dickerson offered at it.
I think that's part of the reason why that Astros rotation is having so much success. The power arms, the ability to elevate the fastball. Guys like Verlander and Cole throwing 97 miles per hour up.
Montgomery has pitched out of the stretch almost the entire day. Two more base runners here in the third. And that one just a little high.
Mentioned Dickerson last time up. Came into this one hitting .348 against left-handed pitching. That was the third highest batting average in Major League Baseball for a left-handed hitter against left-handed pitching.
Real nice under the radar acquisition by the Pirates. Lifted into shallow left. Long run in and caught by Ian Happ. That saved a run. Nicely done. And Mike Montgomery certainly appreciates the fine defensive work out in left. Pirates strand 2. Cubs lead by 2.
Hashtag hats off for heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
The 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Cubs are represented on this year's squad by voting at Cubs.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th. Cubs bat in the third inning, leading 3-1. Contreras 0 for 1, leading all catchers in innings caught. So he's been the full-timiest of the full-time guys. Huge news just coming out here the last few minutes. Shohei Ohtani is going to the DL. He has a grade 2 sprain of his UCL, a PRP and stem cell injection yesterday. He will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. So when you hear reevaluated in 3 weeks, that means he won't throw for 3 weeks.
Yeah, he came out. Was it yesterday or the day before? Maybe with a blister, but obviously something much more serious was going on.
The 3-1 is a strike. So the other question. He's a left-handed batter. When he comes back, will he be able to hit before he pitches, and how the Angels will handle that stuff, right? Called strike 3 to get Contreras.
Yeah, they're going to have some decisions to make how they go forward with Ohtani. The Angels are 7 games better than 500, 4.5 off the pace in the AL West, so they're in the hunt. They've won 4 in a row. The Mariners actually lead that division, 1 game better than the Astros.
And Moore hit by a pitch in the first inning. Thanks for popping over to our Hot Stove VIP party at the Brickhouse Tavern last night. Well, what a
that was fun. I would have stayed longer.
That is, and just the Gallagher Way. And
you guys were rocking, man. I was digging that.
Former Yankee Bernie Williams shredding on the guitar. All the new restaurants, Zachary Hotel. So many great changes.
You guys will get back after it tonight over at the Metro.
Yep. Tap foul. I am barring you from coming to the show tonight. You gotta take care of that voice.
Yeah, I'll be there in spirit. Although if you needed somebody to go a little deep for you, I could come over and.
Well, I was going to say, the Sarge is singing the stretch today. I think he should ask you to sing with him.
Maybe we can do a little harmony.
The ground ball toward third. It's foul.
Well, I imagine going into a series against the Pirates these days, you're thinking, well, if you can make their starting pitcher work, I guess you always think this against any club, but with this team in particular right now, because their bullpen is really struggling.
Back-to-back Ks to start the inning. 3 in a row now for Cool. Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the Chicago Cubs into your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Baez looking for his first hit this week. 0 for 11 on the homestand. And takes a fastball for a strike. Javi Baez takes on the Pirates. Brought to you by AARP. That was going into today. 4 home runs in 6 games. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
It's a changeup. At 91 miles per hour.
Out.
Again, the history between these two clubs, anytime something like that happens, the hitter starts to wonder what's their intent. Clint Hurdle took issue with Baez with some of his actions after the series here. The one here at Wrigley earlier this year.
The bat flip,
yeah,
right, on the pop-up.
He popped up. Same game where he hit a couple of home runs and he popped up and tossed his bat in the air. And Hurdle's old school sensibilities, he didn't care for it. And he said, I remember the line, but something along the lines of somebody over there in the other clubhouse should address that. They need to respect the game.
And Javi, right after the game, unsolicited, apologized for doing it. Nice running grab by Harrison to end the Cubs' third. They lead the Pirates 3-1. Can undefeated justify win the Belmont Stakes and take the most elusive trophy in all of sports, the race for the Triple Crown, tomorrow at 3 on NBC, part of NBC Sports Championship season.
Who do you like?
I like Justify.
Well, so do the odds makers, eh?
But if I wanted to maybe win a little money, I might go with Gronk. 2-0 on David Freese. But this is coming from someone who has no idea about any of it and has never put money on it and probably never will. But I'll tell you what, if I did, you know who I would ask? Well, there are two people, Vince Lodel, but Eddie Olczyk.
Eddie Olczyk, yeah.
Another expert.
And Vince, they would be the go-to guys.
We've got people to give us their expert opinion. The 2-1 to David Freese. Bouncer to short. High throw Baez. Rizzo on the bag for the out. Today's NBC Sports Chicago bar of the game, presented by Miller Lite, is Stretch Bar and Grill. If you aren't heading to Wrigley Field, actually Doc Ryan's in Forest Park. Watch today's NBC Sports broadcast over at Doc Ryan's. To see the complete list of the bars of the game presented by Miller Lite, visit NBCSportsChicago.com. Moran bounced into a double play in the second, but he cannot do that here.
He cannot. Things are looking up.
Someone tweeted earlier about the other comment, the sac fly, which you can hit one with 2 outs because the major league record is 3 in an inning. Well, that's you can't do it with 2 outs. You can get a sac fly on an error with 0 or 1 out. guess you could hit 8 sac flies in an inning,
Sure.
but you just can't do it after there are 2 outs. I retweeted some real good Tim Kirkchin stuff today. About, baseball terminology and the like. A high deep drive out into right. And that baby will be off the wall. Just missed a home run. And Moran ends up diving into second base. Wind blowing in. Once Hayward watched it, I thought that ball was out.
Yeah, I think this ball had a little top spin. It's a breaking pitch from Montgomery. Moran puts a real good swing on it. Real good swing. He's got power. Moran's one of the guys that came over from the Astros in the Garrett Cole deal. Hayward perfectly positioned to play the carom there, but Moran gets his double anyway.
Brings up Mercer, the shortstop. And he takes a strike.
Mercer now number 7 on the all-time games played list at shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And they've been around a long time.
Line to Zobrist, and Moran back to the bag. So a hard hit ball for an out.
I hang with him.
So Tim Kirkchin tweeted out some stuff today. Striking out the side means 3 batters come to the plate and all 3 strike out. Facing 6, striking out 3 and allowing 3 hits is not striking out the side.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Yes.
Why did we sometimes say he struck out the side in order?
We shouldn't.
According to Tim.
You should just say struck out the side. That's all you need. Cool's backswing.
Crossed up.
A piece of Contreras.
That's pretty impressive that he caught that ball. Okay, carry on.
A ground rule double is specific to the ground rules of the ballpark in which the game is being played. When a fair ball bounces over an outfield fence, it's an automatic double, not a ground rule double.
Or a book rule double.
Yep.
For that term.
And my favorite, this is the most controversial, and he's totally right. It's RBIs, not RBI. The comparable is POWs, not POW.
Oh. Where does he stand on batting around in an inning?
I don't know if
9 guys or 10 guys.
I don't know if I have that. He also said complete game shutout is redundant. He says shutout. 0-2 on Cool.
I don't know. I might take issue with the strike out the side. I might go with he struck out the side, but not in order.
You'll have to take it up with TK next time we see it.
Because when you retire the other team, the side is out. You retired the side. How did you do it? Well, struck out 3 guys in that inning.
It's through the legs of Contreras and allows Moran to advance to third. A wild pitch charged to Montgomery. Cubs lead 3-1, 4th inning. Nice job by Cool. And a bad pitch to just get a piece of it.
Quality lid right there.
It's to first. Rizzo will take it by himself. So the Pirates strand a man at third. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Cubs 3, Buccos 1. Baseball friend Bruce Kison, a former big league pitcher who helped the Pirates in their World Series wins in 1971 and 1979. Recently passed away from cancer at age 68. We saw Bruce a lot in his scouting role with the Baltimore Orioles, and he was here at Wrigley Field a lot over the past few years, and he will be missed.
Yeah, had an outstanding career in the game, both as a player and then later on as a scout and executive in baseball. What a great competitor he was.
It was said that he once hit 7 guys in a minor league appearance. He was tough. Ian Happ batting, and he grounds one foul past first. Time for our Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. And he covered some ground and left to take away a hit from Dickerson that would have scored a run.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a hesitation, but once he decided to go for it, great athleticism, nice play by Happ, much appreciated by Montgomery.
Drilled to right, but he hit it right at Meadows for the out. So he's had 2 good swings. He flied to the warning track his first time, and then that bullet. So the 0 for 2 doesn't really tell you what he's done at the plate.
2 real good swings, hard contact. That's what you're trying to do. No luck so far. www. Bring me a hot dog, please.
0-1 to Montgomery, who took a key walk in the 2nd inning and helped the Cubs add to their lead. He would later come around to score. Curve for a strike.
Has retired 6 in a row now. Looks to me like he's trying to up the tempo a little bit, stay on the attack, work a little more quickly. And then maybe that's just a function of nobody on base. Guys typically slow it down with base runners.
And Montgomery waves at strike 3. On Monday, June 18th, the Cubs welcome in the Dodgers at 7:05. Up to the first early arriving 10,000 fans get a Jason Hayward bobblehead presented by Pepsi. For more information, visit Cubs.com. Hello, Gallagher Way.
Two singles. Now time for some noise.
Yeah, 2 for 2 in the leadoff spot.
Time 2 out, nobody on, looking for extra bases. They got the shift on for him. 3 on the left side.
Game in Milwaukee or in Philadelphia tonight. Jhoulys Chacin against Vince Velasquez. Chacin 4-1 with a .339. The Brewers will be trying to end a 3-game skid. We will head to Milwaukee on Monday night. Cubs' next road trip, 3 in Milwaukee, 3 in St. Louis. Cardinals currently 3 games out. They're in 3rd. Pirates are 4th, 6 back. Cubs just a half game off the pace. Update the standings.
Brewers went the entire month of May without losing back-to-back games. Started to slide a little bit here recently. Cubs getting into a bit of a meaty part of the schedule. Pirate Club obviously has not been playing great lately, but a 500 club. They got 2 series with the Dodgers. And in a stretch of 10 days, they got the Cardinals in there as well, and the Brewers.
Base hit. He's 3 for 3. Really incredible the knack Joe has had for putting unfamiliar guys into this role, and they've had great success, right? Rizzo, the greatest of all time. Contreras has done it a few times. Chris Bryant.
The only real adjustment the guys have to make is that first at bat of the game. If you're not used to doing it, you know, play the field, inning over, you got to kind of come in, get ready in a hurry to get your at bat. After that, it's just play the game. He doesn't ask them or expect them to do anything differently in terms of their approach to the plate. It's more a case of taking a guy who has a certain skill set and saying, yeah, you can do that job. You're a good hitter. You get on base. You'll take your walks. You'll see pitches.
Well, their best on base guy the last few years has been Chris Bryant. So, yeah, you'd think he'd be really good at it. You like having him second or third to be able to knock in a few more runs.
Yeah, for me, you know, the perfect is he and Anthony 3-4. You know, one either way doesn't matter much. If you have a couple table setters in front of those 2 guys, I think, you know, maybe Chris's numbers get sacrificed a little bit in terms of RBIs. You know, when he's at the top of the order, but you know, whatever is best for the team, obviously, is what you do.
Hayward 2 for 2. And some nice work from the 2 spot here lately. Hit hard with foul.
Boy, ball boy down the line's had some challenging plays off the wall.
That was a screamer.
Yeah, I'm glad he's hasn't gotten smoked yet, because got a couple scary plays. But it looked like Jason was looking inside there pretty quick to that inside fastball, and understandable after going the opposite way a couple of times. He'd be assuming that they would try to crowd him. He's moved off the plate a little bit, trying to get some fluidity to his swing. I think, you know, he has a tendency to kind of get bottled up, hands close to the body. He's been working at trying to change his hand position a little bit, the top hand. And the results good here for a good while now.
Average up to 271. Slugging just over 400. Rest of the weekend, Nick Kingham and John Lester tomorrow. Joe Musgrove, Kyle Hendricks on Sunday. There goes Bryant. The pitch is outside. The throw is in time. So Contreras did it earlier. Cervelli from his knees here in the 4th. And the Cubs are finished in inning number 4. They lead this game 3-1.
He's just not his typical results, meaning that ball's in a certain spot, it gets hit pretty good. He's seeing a ball in a certain spot now. He's either missing or fouling it straight back or off to the right side, or he's reaching out and just putting something in play. A pitcher's pitch. It'll change, and hopefully this will be something that might unearth it, like I said.
Joe Madden on Chris Bryant. Leading off today, Josh Harrison bounces out to the pitcher. And we've got a guy with us today who made 615 career starts as a leadoff man, hit 287. So you know a little bit about it. What's the mindset?
Well, Chris Bryant's, first of all, making it look too easy. Okay, let's start there. But yeah, you are the table setter, and you are the spark. And there is an understanding about working the count, knowing what the pitcher has, passing information along, doing a lot more manufacturing on the bases. But I think Chris Bryant is so smooth across the board and so consistent in so many different facets of his game that he can really be anywhere. And that is the culture of sort of the Joe Madden era of Chicago Cubs. They're versatile, they play a lot of positions, they bat in different orders, so they're not all prototypical or pigeonholed into one arena. And so you're seeing Bryant have great success as if he's been doing this his whole career, getting on base, even trying to steal a base right there.
629 games, 615 starts, and you know how many leadoff homers you hit, right?
Ooh, it's double digits, 10, 11 maybe?
10, you hit 10 of them.
Yeah. I know one was here off of Al Leiter in 2003, maybe? Somewhere in there, yeah, 3. But it is tough to do it day in, day out. That's really the sort of test, and I like the fact Madden mixes it up a little bit because it's very taxing on one particular player to do it every day.
2-1 on Meadows.
You know, so it kind of wears you down to the nub, just trying to, okay, I got to set the table. I think one year I had 678 at bats or something, and I remember Terry Francona said to me, "Man, it looks like the bat is swinging you. You're not swinging the bat." So I was pretty wiped out by September.
3-1 the count. Pirates have had base runners in every inning.
What I found really interesting about that little clip of Joe was the fact that somebody asked him about KB's struggles, and that's, you know, you can tell by the nature of his response. And again, this is a guy who came into this game with a 6-game hitting streak. He's got 3 hits today. We're spoiled by how good he is. And I mentioned before the game when we were up here chatting, you can kind of be hot and cold at the same time. I mean, the numbers are outstanding. He's got this hitting streak. He's getting his hits. He's just not hitting the ball over the wall very much, and that's obviously a little bit of a concern.
3-2, and Bryant can't get it on the dive, so a base hit for Meadows. Bryant is slashing .302, .408, .516. So basically, Doug, right now this year, he's been Chipper Jones for his career as a Hall of Famer.
3, 4, 5. Once you see those numbers, that's it.
And it's kind of unfair that, you know, they're questioning what, you know, that question would even come up right now. What's wrong with KB?
Yeah, well, it's like you said, it's the results, it's the home run.
Yeah, and he set the bar awfully high.
Well, what makes him great is that you don't notice. You don't notice that, oh, by the way, he's still getting on base. He's still an incredible base runner. He still does so many other things to help his team win. And in this revolution, as you know, the numbers and the analytics, we're also getting deeper into some of these intangibles. The base running, the analytics and metrics on defense. So Bryant is that guy that can thrive in that because you realize, oh, he's a great base runner because we're actually measuring it now. We know that he has a high success rate of going first to third, first to home, second to home, much higher level than anybody else in the game. And so you can measure some of these things, and still yet there's so many other intangibles that he brings. And being able to just lead off on a fly today and do as well as he has is one example.
How about this one? You've got a 6'5", 230-pound third baseman. All right, so Doug and JD, envision that guy in your careers with 2,266 plate appearances. All right, he's hit into 18 double plays in his career. Now, the 6'5", 230-pound third baseman probably hits into 25 a year, right?
He has not hit into one at all this year.
Right. That's amazing.
No, that is amazing, and it could be also a product of you know, this sort of generation and era of fly balls. But he's just a guy that, you know, can spray the ball around and make adjustments very quickly. Even, okay, guys on base, you know, he can still manipulate the ball and do different things with it. And that's a lot of things you don't notice until you see it day in, day out on what he brings. So the fact that he's struggling, you don't take a guy who you say is struggling and put him in the leadoff hole, right? Mm-hmm. But you can do that with him because he's still going to take his pitches and walk if he's not hitting.
Swing and a miss by Marte and a curveball. And the count is 2-2. Montgomery just hit the 80 pitch mark here in the 5th inning, leading 3-1. Meadows with 2 hits. And now 3-2.
Marte hits it on the ground a lot, but he's a tough man to double up because he runs so well.
Dynamic players, Starling Marte. Coming back after missing half of last season due to the suspension. That's the other thing that really kind of torpedoed the Pirates last year. You mentioned earlier, JD, that Cervelli, 3 or 4 DL stints. And then, you know, the Marte thing happened so early and was such a shock. On the ground, and Bryant will just get the out at first. So 2 outs. Get ready to rock here at the friendly confines. Def Leppard and Journey will take the stage Saturday, July 14th with special guests, the Pretenders. Don't miss out as these legendary rock bands make their debut at historic Wrigley Field. Tickets are on sale now. Cubs.com/concerts.
Well, Lou Rawls. Is Lou going to be there too then?
Keep the 80s alive, fellas.
Yeah.
Keep the 80s alive.
That's right.
Good days. You know, and I think about Marte. Remember with McCutchen, Marte was playing left field, and he probably at times was a better center fielder than McCutchen, and it created sort of a little bit of tension about where to place him.
Knocked down by Contreras.
And the Marte, McCutchen, Polanco outfield, it was going to be the outfield for a good long while here, and it gives you an idea of how quickly things change in the game. McCutchen's now a Giant. Polanco's still here, but he's not playing as much. He has really struggled with his game this year offensively. Hitting for maybe a little more power and taking more walks, but the batting average is way down. He has really struggled against lefties. And that's what's provided this opportunity for Meadows, and he's taking advantage.
Swing and a miss. Good changeup. 0-2.
It's 1 strikeout in the game for Montgomery. It was Cervelli last time he was up in the 3rd.
Cervelli, like some hitters, is really good at being emphatic, getting out of the way on a borderline pitch. He thinks is way inside. Trying to buy that call, and you see pitch number 3 could have been called a strike. I would think a catcher could work the umpires, right?
Yeah, well, you guys start lobbying early in the day. Yeah, he's got a big personality. He's very animated.
Well, he's got to not go to the well too much on that, right?
Yeah,
you know, it's got to work, ended up working both ways. So.
Yeah, like the kid that's just constantly raising their hand in class. After a while, the teacher's like, "No, I'm done with you." The other adjustments Cervelli's made mechanically, he's more upright in the box these days too.
Grounder to Bryant, ranging to his left. That's it for the Pirates. And they've left 6 on base here these last 4 innings. And the Cubs lead 3-1. and serve as a positive influence in their community through sports. Nominate someone you know now at NBCSports.com/fairplay. Ron checks in on Twitter, and I'm going to take him at his word that Doug's leadoff homer off Al Leiter was September 17th, 2003. Kerry Wood threw a 4-hit shutout. It was a good day for the Cubs. Low on Jason Hayward. He was at the plate when Bryant was caught stealing in the 4th.
Yeah, maybe.
One and two on Jason.
Backdoor curveball that perhaps got the outside corner, then a real good changeup for strike 2.
Backhanded play, David Freese. Zobrist has knocked in a couple today. And a single in the 1st and a fielder's choice in the 2nd. Average at a healthy .295. It's amazing what team success can do in terms of your perception of a baseball player. And I say that. Well, Ben Zobrist spent the first 9 or so years of his career as a Tampa Bay Ray. Brief time in Oakland, won a World Series with Kansas City. 3rd year with the Cubs, but you just think of him as a Cub, right? It feels like it defines him as a baseball player, even though he's only been here for about a quarter of his career.
Yeah, well, when you have a moment like they had in 2016, that kind of stamps that on you forever.
Spent the last 3 days reminiscing about Jake Arrieta and his amazing run as a Cub. David Ross played only 2 of his 15 seasons and only 139 games as a Cub. That's kind of amazing, right?
Well, yeah, but
he's a backup
the story,
catcher,
yeah, the story of David Ross was so unique. The backup catcher that kind of became a celebrity here in town, and everything he meant in the clubhouse.
So Zobrist draws the 1-out walk. And now it's time for the Lowe's whole team together. So this is NL teammates with at least 40 RBIs. And that is each guy with at least 40. Baez, Rizzo combining for 89. Suarez and Jeanette with the Reds. Freeman and Markakis with Atlanta.
Well, if you had taken my advice and bought about 30 shares of Rizzo back at the end of April, cashing some pretty big checks right now. cool. He's trying to stay in predator mode. He's on the rubber as soon as the ball comes back. He's waiting on Anthony to get back in there. Said, I'm ready to go. Let's get it on. Got him last time with a couple good breaking balls.
This is facing a starter. First plate appearance, second plate appearance. And he does not wait around to do damage.
It's a little bit surprising.
Yeah, the narrative typically is you get to a guy later.
Yeah, most pitchers, now those numbers are talking about Anthony individually, but most pitchers, you look at his numbers first time, second time, third time through the order. Just about every guy that batting average against goes up, especially by the third go around. But not necessarily the fourth time through the order, because if a pitcher's facing the lineup for the fourth time, he's having a really good day.
Yeah, he's dealing.
Looks like we're going to throw over here. 94. And Anthony was good breaking balls down last time.
Zobrist runs. Rizzo fouls.
Yeah, we talked about Anthony's skill set earlier. A slugger who's very disciplined, makes a lot of contact, doesn't strike out very often. You feel pretty comfortable sending Zobrist here in this situation with Rizzo in the box, that he's either going to take ball 4 or put the ball in play. Even though he struck out last time, and if he does strike him out, it'll probably be on a breaking ball in the dirt where Rizzo might get second, or Zobrist get second base anyway.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Zobrist is.
But sometimes the best laid plans.
Yep. So just like that, the 5th inning comes to an end. Cubs 3, Pirates 1.
Back at Wrigley, top 6. Cubs lead 3-1.
Hey, make sure you check out the variety of luxury premier options Wrigley Field has to offer for your next client, corporate or family function. Like an all-inclusive suite experience. Daily suite rentals are still available for select games throughout the season. For details, visit Cubs.com/premier.
Left, right, left due up here for the Pirates in the 6th. Dickerson, Freese, Moran. This will in all likelihood be the end of the line for Mike Montgomery, who's pitched well again here today. Maybe not as clean, as efficient as his first 2 starts, but the results outstanding. Just 1 run allowed as Corey Mazzoni is warming in the Cub bullpen.
High fly out in the center. Outfielders haven't been that busy today, have they?
No, it's a Montgomery day. I was just counting. I got 10 ground ball outs.
So Dickerson retired. Here comes David Freese. This game feels a little bit like the game Tuesday night against the Phillies. Or was it Wednesday? Wednesday night against the Phillies, where the Cubs had a 3-0 lead, and it felt like it was 10-0 because of the way Jose Quintana was pitching. But it's only a 3-1 score right now. Pirates 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They've stranded 6 through the first 5 innings.
Morrow, Strop, Cishek, Dunsing, Wilson all worked in the ball game yesterday.
In the air to right. Hayward starting to run out of room, and he's got room, and he makes the catch. It was a fair ball. 2 down.
Feeling for the wall, but never taking the eye off the ball. Hayward hauls it in.
It sounds like something Ernie would have said. Feel for the wall, catch the ball. Cubs will be great in 2018. Fouled by Moran.
I need to ask you how your wife was doing. How'd your wife and kids?
Yep. And it's Mr. Cub.
Moran just missed a home run last time. Double off the wall in right center.
Mike's 0-2. Bounced. He's making his 3rd consecutive start. With Yu Darvish on the disabled list, and he has done nothing short of terrific so far.
Well, that's the nature of this game. One man's misfortune, another man's opportunity. Montgomery's taken full advantage of his. And with Mike moving from the bullpen to the rotation, Randy Rosario called up from the minor leagues, and he's done a really nice job. So the Cubs still have 3 lefties out there in the pen that Joe feels pretty comfortable handing the ball to.
Deep left. Happ going after it. He dives and makes the catch. His 2nd beautiful play out there this afternoon. And that's that for the Pirates. Ball took off like a rocket, and Happ ran it down. Still 3-1. Just like we promised earlier, time now for the Miller Lite Hold True moments. Catchers today throwing from their knees. And 3 caught stealings. A couple by Cervelli.
Yeah, when you look at this, guys, I mean, this is a new, sort of a new approach of the Tony Pena era, right? And so the slide, when you look about sliding in this particular surface now, it's a little bit wet. And as a base runner, I used to, talk to the grounds crew, don't make it too wet, man. I can't get my traction in there. So the slide takes a different tone to it because all of a sudden when you're going in, if you start too early, it just sort of eats you up. It's like sliding on a beach, and all of a sudden now you don't get to the bag. So you start thinking about sliding a little bit later so you can try to still get a little explosion into the base. So when you look at Meadows in particular, look at where he starts. He starts a little bit early, and look how long he's on that ground. It's a lot of friction going in. And when he's on this side, it just takes away from your speed. So you want to try to get a little bit later, and you see this long streak. That's how long it took for him to get into the base. And with all that distance and running against the dirt, it just takes away a lot of your velocity and makes you ripe to be caught. Now, these catchers, to their credit, made great throws considering they were going down on their knees. But he could have gotten in there a little bit quicker.
2-1 swing and a miss by Contreras. So is the throwing from the knees about just getting rid of it as fast as possible? Is that the theory?
I think that's part of it. And I think the other part of it is the other guy did it, so I'm going to do it too. I think there's a little mano a mano going on here today. Between these two guys, two big personalities, both Venezuelans. It's like, okay, you got this, I got it too. Well, but the weight, as long as you can shift your weight, right? I mean, you're saving a little time if you don't have to get to your feet.
Yeah, Tony Pena.
Yeah, and I remember Benito Santiago comes to mind too. He threw from his knees a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, getting rid of it. Sometimes you just get rid of it. And when you play with a guy like Baez, for example, you just throw it in the area code in the state, and he will catch it and find a way to make a play. So you want to just get rid of it and let your guy do the magic. And they were very accurate in this case.
Diving play, and Moran just could barely get a glove on it. Contreras has himself a leadoff single. Right, so the most accurate throw that's late is worse than a somewhat accurate throw that is ahead of the runner.
Well, as long, if you're in the vicinity and you have guys like Baez on the other end, obviously he's a kind of a rare breed, but they threw perfect throws. I mean, even when you watch Cervelli throw with Rizzo, he almost hit Rizzo. He kind of had to lean towards the third base side and then throw, and still was very accurate. But it's sort of like in the outfield, they tell you to get rid of the ball, because if you take this big wind up and throw harder, those steps you're taking to throw the ball, the guy in base running is grabbing ground on you. So you want to get it to the cutoff man as quickly as possible, and then let the throws be the speed, not your footwork be the speed.
Cool. We'll keep an eye on Contreras.
What I used to do, Doug, is I use some of that spray that Clark Griswold put on his saucer Christmas vacation. I'd spray that on my pants, and that's how I would steal bases.
Get rid of the friction.
Yeah. Probably weren't aware of that part of my game.
Bunted by Almora. Cool's got a tough play, and he tried to barehand it, and it'll be a hit for Albert. And the Cubs have 2 on with nobody out.
Well, you mentioned the game the other day where the Cubs had the comfortable lead and let it get away. Ultimately came back and won it. But here's a great opportunity to extend this lead now. Baez, Happ, and then a pinch hitter for Montgomery to try to put another run or 2 on the board here.
And I think Almora wasn't quite picking him up well. You could tell he was rolling over a little bit, hooking the ball a lot. So I think that bunt was like, okay, I'm just going to find any way I can get on. And it worked out great. A little pressure on the pitcher and couldn't control it.
Cervelli wants the entire infield in on this mound conversation.
Yeah, and Javi will drop a bunt down for a base hit every now and then. That might be on his mind as well.
And Hurdle's club really struggling here lately. They've dropped 6 consecutive series, and they dropped from 1st to 4th in the standings as a result. Baez 0 for 2.
You never know.
Pop out.
He might be thinking bunt. He might be thinking Waveland Avenue too. Continues to lead the league in RBIs by 1 over Suarez of the Reds.
That's a strike. Playing the pull in the outfield.
Feeling he feels a little crossed up by some of these fastball strikes here today. Maybe they're going to spin something and they throw him a heater.
There's another ball off himself, which feels like a daily occurrence. That's why he's got protection on that front leg.
I still feel the ball I fouled off Derek Lowe and Mark Leiter Sr. Still feel it. Just, you know, it's not good. When you hit that shin, just the right space. Terrible feel. I thought I broke my leg one time, but it turned out it was a deep bruise.
And Todd Hollinsworth, I think, fractured his shin twice.
Yeah, Kevin Bass, I remember years ago, did that.
Line drive is going to be caught. Well, there's no justice in the world of baseball on a ball like that. We'll check the exit velocity, but man.
Yeah, boy, that was a bad pitch. 2-strike breaking ball right there for Baez. Cool got very lucky.
Almost 112 off the bat.
Looks like leaving orbit at a certain point.
That's going to be it for Cool. Looks like it'll be Edgar Santana for the Pirates. First and second, 1 out, 6th inning. Cubs 3, Pirates 1. Official external pain relief of the Chicago Cubs. And his right-hander Edgar Santana in for Cool.
2-1, 3.28 ERA for Santana. Fastball slider primarily, mid-90s heater. So he's been really tough on left-handed hitters, batting just 170 against them.
Cubs have Contreras at second. Almora at first. Baez just hit a rocket for an out to left. And it's Ian Happ who's had 2 good at bats, both ending in outs, and has made 2 great catches in left. Swing and a miss.
You see those reverse splits, a right-handed pitcher really tough on lefties. You assume good changeup, but he doesn't throw changeup very much.
35 and well located. The Pirates made a roster move before the ball game. Richard Rodriguez was placed on the disabled list with a right shoulder issue. And Dovydas Neverauskas is back in their bullpen. Happ strikes out. But our cricket Smile, he made his starting pitcher smile, robbing Corey Dickerson of what would have been an RBI hit.
Balls in the air today against Mike Montgomery, but when they were, Ian Happ was there to make some plays for him. One coming in, this spectacular play deep to left field. We haven't seen the outfielders backed up much against Montgomery in his 3 starts.
Yeah, and one point I'd make on that is a backhand catch is considerably more difficult. And there's 3 reasons for that. One is when you turn your glove, you have to turn your wrist more to open the pocket. The other is you're reaching across your body and you have less range. You have less reach behind you. And lastly, you could obstruct your own view with your backhand side. So those 3 factors, add to the degree of difficulty, because when you're on your glove side, everything's open. You could reach behind you. You have more range. And there's no way your glove doesn't sort of get in your face. But that backhand side is hard. So that play, I'd add a couple extra points to Ian Happ's score.
Good stuff. Listella batting for Montgomery. He went 6, gave up just 1 run.
It'd be kind of like if he added a quad to his long program, the backhanded play. Gets extra points from the judges for that.
That's right.
I'm a tennis player, and that backhand takes a while to develop. The forehand's kind of the easy shot early on.
Exactly.
2-2 on Tommy. Yeah, Doug, watching Ian Happ, his athleticism oftentimes makes up for occasional bad routes, and the bottom line is to catch the ball, right? And for the most part, he does.
Yeah, close it out. I mean, reminds me of Pat Burrell. Burrell wasn't fast, but when he got to the ball, he closed it out. And I think that, with Happ, I think he's sometimes concerned about taking his eye off the ball. You can tell some outfielders are comfortable where they know they're running to a spot. And they're like, when you're running straight to that spot, you're much faster when you're facing where you're going. And when you're looking back all the time, running against your body, you slow yourself down. So he just has to get comfortable reading the trajectory off the bat and not always trying to adjust midstream.
Stella stays alive, still 2-2 on him. Promising start to this 6th inning with back-to-back hits. And Baez lined out. Hurdle took out his starter. Santana struck out Happ. And he's now 2-2 on the pinch hitter Listella. Calm in the batter's box. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Sarge coming up when we come back. Gary Matthews singing the stretch. We'll chat with him in the 7th. 13 and younger receive a Cubs echo. Microphone. Presented by MasterCard. Following the game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger will receive the opportunity to run the bases, weather permitting. For details, visit Cubs.com. Corey Mazzoni got his first major league win a couple of nights ago, overshadowed by Jason Hayward's game-winning grand slam, and he's pitching with a 2-run lead in the 7th inning today.
Yeah, I mentioned the usage. Morrow, Strop, Cishek, Dunsing, Wilson all worked yesterday. Not sure who's available today or not, but that may elevate others into a more prominent role this afternoon.
Out into the alleyway for Jordy Mercer. And he'll make his way into second base with a leadoff double.
A bit of a hanging fastball from Corey there, right out over the heart of the plate.
Josh Bell will come off the bench and bat for Santana. And Jim Hickey will make a visit. And the Sarge is with us. Former Cub Gary Matthews. Always a pleasure to chat with the Sarge. How you doing?
Good.
What's going on, man?
How are you guys doing?
Always a good hat day for you.
Oh my gosh. When's summer coming?
Yeah, there's a rumor it showed up once or twice and then it leaves town.
You know, we saw Odubel Herrera the other day with the Phillies, and he loses his helmet a lot. And every time a guy loses his helmet, I think of you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
How often did your helmet stay on your head when you ran for a double or a triple?
Very simple. It always came out on hits or potential hits. Never on the home run.
Right. Toward the middle, Zobrist will backhand and just gets him. Runner at third. So was the helmet an impediment to your speed?
You know, interesting you would actually ask that, because I have been doing that since Little League. And when I would go to games in LA, I'd have guys I'd leave tickets for say, hey, you're still knocking that helmet off. So I don't know really what it was, but
you were Bryce Harper before Bryce Harper.
Oh, well, let me tell you, early on, I took a lot of hits from pitchers because they thought I was showing them
really?
up. Oh, yes. I'd get them in the ribs, but
just for knocking your helmet off?
Oh, they thought I was
pitchers
showing them up.
Jerks.
Oh, well, you know, I don't want to talk
my
about them. I mean, really.
What kind of justice is that? Man should have the right to knock his helmet off when he's running around the bases.
Really, I see him give me a little punch out like Eckersley, you know, when they strike you out, the little fist pump. You know, you don't want them to do it, don't strike out.
Alan Ashby used to talk about Eck early in his career. They were together in Cleveland, I think it was, and Eck, when he was on top of his game in terms of his macho, he would point to the guy on deck like he'd throw strike 2 on the hitter, and then he'd look at the guy on deck who, you're next. You know, not that he's going to hit him, but I'm going to strike you out next.
I got to tell you something. Love that guy. What a competitor, Eckersley. Wow. He would go at you. I mean, it's just, he's another pitcher like Arrieta that can pitch in any era. That's how good those guys are.
2-1 hit on the ground, and Mercer's going to hold with Bryant in. Big second out. So before you sing, it's always great to see it. I mean, speaking of guys who could play in any era, you know, you look at your career totals: 940 walks, only 1,100 plus strikeouts, so almost 1-to-1, 234 homers. So you hit for good power. You didn't strike out a ton. You took your walks. It sounds like a 2018 big league hitter to me.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean,
big league hitter.
I just, you know what, and hitting third, if you're saying get a guy over, get him in, you have to do it really by example. But you know what? I have no regrets. Played as hard as I possibly could. Maybe one regret. Would have been nice to play in the money right now.
I got that.
Good.
We'll get more into that when we come back.
Think of all the hats you could have bought.
Randy Rosario. We'll be right back with the Sarge. Rosario. JD talked about the bullpen, and you make adjustments. 7th inning, 2-run lead. Mazzoni and Rosario being used this afternoon. Runner at third, 2 outs. And Matthews takes low. We're with the Sarge, Gary Matthews. Well, I've in the past mentioned a couple of YouTube videos I've seen of you. Speaking of pitchers getting aggravated with you, maybe chasing a couple of opponents around the field.
Oh boy.
The brawls today, well, they're not even brawls. They're just guys come out of the bullpens and the dugouts and they chat for a while, and generally that's it. But you guys meant business back in the 70s.
Well, we'd like to say that we didn't start them, but we made sure we finished them. That is for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with a Sarge. Swing and a miss.
I had some great teammates. You know, I mean, throughout my career, I've said it before, if I had hit behind Mike Schmidt, it would have been easy to get into the Hall of Fame. All you had to do was look for a fastball. I mean, they're not going to walk me to get to Mike. But, you know, it's you play when you play, and you played against some of the greatest players that have ever played.
Meadows swings and misses. All right, Sarge, ready to sing?
Yeah, hey.
All right, here we go.
I'm not intimidated.
So here we go. It's the Sarge coming up. 7th inning stretch.
Today's
brought to you by
guest
St. Xavier University.
Out to the ball game, former Cubs outfielder Gary Matthews.
All right, Cub fans, here we go. Great team you have out there. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me up to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jams. I don't care if I ever get back for it. Root for the. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Love you guys.
Zoni and Rosario able to work a scoreless 7th. And man, oh man, what would you give to hear Harry welcome in this next guy?
Oh my goodness.
Dovydas Neverauskas.
Lithuanian Lightning.
Just back from the minor leagues. Big league debut last year against the Cubs.
Now this is his 8th appearance for the big club this year. The numbers not good so far down at AAA. He had a 117 earned run average. Fastball, cutter, and a curve. There's the good hook. Santana did his job, faced 2 hitters, punched them both out. The potential inning just fizzled for the Cubs in the 6th.
Two missed. 6'3", 225. Vilnius, Lithuania. Fly down the right field line. That'll twist out of play. Perfect today. 3 for 3 from the leadoff position.
The Cubs have split the 6 games so far this year. Last year the Cubs won the season series 10-9. So there's been a lot of competitive games between these 2 clubs. A lot of games like this decided late.
Swing and a miss. So Bryant retired for the first time this afternoon. Hey, July 6th, the Cubs will team up with Third Man Pressing to offer fans an exclusive vinyl record ticket package featuring a limited edition 7-inch vinyl with Eddie Vedder's All the Way and Steve Goodman's Go Cubs Go. It is sure to be a collector's item. To purchase tickets for this limited offer, visit Cubs.com/vinyl. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. From the stretch with nobody on base. Inside, look out. I'll move a guy's feet. $40,097 inside the confines today.
You got a guy as far off the plate as Jason is, and you feel like, well, if I'm going to try to get him out of the way, I want to make sure he doesn't feel comfortable dive and cover that outside corner. So it makes sense to do a little work hard in.
Diving stab, freeze. Neverauskas. Gallagher Insurance run time. Ben Zobrist able to beat out a double play ball. Made it 3-1.
It's his second RBI of the afternoon. It scored Mike Montgomery, who took a 1-out walk in the bottom of the 2nd.
Loving the old school look. Looks like pretty close to an understanding with MLB that he'll be able to wear those black shoes. I haven't heard anything official. But maybe he has. Topper foul. Still 0-2 on him. Pitchers of record are the starters. All the runs came in the first 2 innings. Yeah, I got to find one of the YouTubes of Sarge. I think he was a Brave or a Giant. Can't remember. Yeah, there were some haymakers thrown in that bench.
Braves Padres had an epic fight.
Oh yeah,
many years ago.
3-1 Cubs lead as we go to the 8th. And a free bike check located near the Addison Red Line station. Express shuttle buses are also available from Hillside and Rolling Meadows. Check out available transportation and parking options at cubs.com/transportation. Cubs win today would be 10 out of 12. And a virtual tie atop the division. 3-1 8th inning. Rosario struck out Meadows to end the 7th. Swing and a miss. Two to Marte. The Cubs yesterday named their minor league player and pitcher of the month for May, catcher Johnny Pereda from Single A Myrtle Beach. South Bend right-hander Corey Abbott get the awards. Congrats to both. Pereda hitting just under 300 on the season. Abbott with an organizational best 41 strikeouts in May. Second round pick last year out of Loyola Marymount.
Yes, he did.
Strikes out.
2 in a row for Rosario, and you mentioned it, the elevated status now. And again, not sure exactly who's available for the Cubs today. We can assume now that Pedro Strop is. And tomorrow has worked 2 days in a row. Cishek has been busy.
Cervelli has yet to hit a ball out of the infield. 0 for 3 with 2 ground outs and a strikeout.
Pirates the last couple of days were swinging the bat well. They scored 11 runs 2 days ago to snap a 3-game losing streak. Beat the Dodgers 11-9. They lost yesterday, but scored 7 runs.
Got that call. Cervelli.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Called some pitches off the plate, both sides of the plate today. Hard to quibble with a guy named Fairchild.
That is a swing, says Doug Eddings.
Love that as a pitcher. You're down in the count 2-0, and you get back in without having to throw the pitch over the plate. Umpire gives you one, hitter gives you another.
He draws the walk. That part of his game has always been there. It's the power game that he's added. Dickerson will bat, representing the tying run here in the 8th.
We talked about the good work he's been doing against left-handed pitching this year. But most left-handed hitters, the ones that handle lefties well, usually surrender power. They may still hit for a very high average, usually not as much slugging.
Pop down the right field line. Hayward is over. He's got room. 2 down.
We're going to get a double switch here.
Gabriel Strop is ready. Ball has opened, and here he comes in the left center bullpen. Addison Russell will come in as well as part of the double switch. As the Cubs lead 3-1 in the 8th inning, we'll be right back. And it is veteran right-hander Pedro Strop.
Stropey having a nice year, 3-0, 2.13 ERA, fastball, slider, cutter, and a splitter. Cutter, something he added last year. He's been using it a bunch. Kind of looks like his slider, but he'll throw it a little bit harder. See 86, 87. Cutter. Slider's usually 82, 83 with a little more depth.
He's almost got hit.
Clint Hurdle had left-handed options. Polanco and Frazier on the bench if he wanted them here. Decided to stick with the veteran Freeze. Cheese for Freeze at the knees.
Ooh.
If you please. Pretty good power the other way.
It's a ground ball to the new shortstop, Russell. And that is it for the Pirates. Still 3-1. Hefty home run time. Let's see the Cubs updated leaderboard. Rizzo joining Baez and Schwarber on the double-digit on the list. Verauskas with a 1-2-3 seventh. Nice work by the Cubs bullpen today. After another quality start from Mike Montgomery.
Yeah, if you can close this one out, those are feel-good wins when you've got your replacement starter in there for Darvish, and Montgomery's made 3 really good starts now. Obviously, you've got some guys down in the bullpen, so you've used Mazzoni and Rosario in situations you normally would not. He's got a 6-game hitting streak on the line. He's homered in his last 2 ball games.
Each team with 8 hits today. No home runs so far. Three batters in, the Pirates took a 1-0 lead, but the Cubs came right back. And four batters into their first inning, they had the lead back. Two to Rizzo. Contreras to follow. He got him. Third strikeout for Neverauskas.
So they've been attacking him with breaking balls down, and it's worked so far today. Third strikeout for Riz.
This pitch to Contreras is hit foul. Win today would be a 4-3 lead in the season series. Good contact, opposite field hitting. It was 2 out of 4. Bring up Almora. Interesting piece, ESPN.com. David Schoenfield. In the year Chris Davis of the Orioles is having. Have you seen what?
Not pretty.
Statistically, he's on pace to have what might be regarded as the worst season offensively ever. 220 plate appearances. He's hitting 152 with an OPS of 464. 4 home runs, 4 doubles. He's scored 9 times. 81 strikeouts already. Kind of sums up the frustration for the Baltimore Orioles, who are 19-42.
Expected to get Zach Britton back off the DL here in fairly short order, and it would be a very nice trade chip for somebody.
Dan Szymborski tweeted, according to F-WAR, that's Fangraphs, wins above replacement. Since 1901. Answer toward the middle. One, they get them both. 81,892 player seasons since 1901. He would rank 81,892nd. Crazy. To the ninth, 3-1 Cubs. baseball as NBC Sports Chicago hosts a Miller Lite viewing party at JL's Pizza and Sports Bar in Palatine. Join Luke Stuckmeyer, watch Chicago take on Milwaukee, and enjoy free giveaways.
Ooh, very much a quality baby there. A newbie.
Pedro Strop continues on.
Yeah, a chance to pick up a save here. It would be his 10th career first this year. First since 2015.
Brandon Morrow was down on Sunday, and Ryan Dunsing was able to notch the save.
Morrow's got 15. Dunsing's got 1. Cishek's got 1.
One to Moran is rolled into right. Pirates are not going to go down without a fight. Got to live up to their nickname, right? Here's Mercer. That's Luke Farrell up in the Cubs bullpen. Mercer and Gregory Polanco is now on deck in the pitcher spot. First pitch is in for a strike.
Mercer has lined out and doubled, also hit by a pitch today, so he appears to be seeing it pretty well. Double came leading off the 7th against Corey Mazzoni. Pirates with a couple of doubles, the Cubs with 1. Everything else has been singletons. 18 hits total in the ball game.
One, two, gets away. So a wild pitch charged to Strop.
There are certain times a catcher should try to pick the ball as opposed to block it, depending on the game situation, who the base runner is, things of that nature. That was a situation where the focus clearly should have been on let's just go ahead and block this ball, not try to pick it. When you get the glove involved, it's more likely to kick away the way it did there, as opposed to if you use good technique and just block it with your chest protector, smother it, keep it in front. Moran's probably not likely to advance.
Contreras will have a quick visit with Strop. Runner at second base, nobody out. 9th inning. Cubs holding a 3-1 advantage. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Cut fastball at 88. perfectly placed.
Gregory Polanco comes in at 208 on the year.
He's hitting the ball in the air more too. He's hit 8 home runs. He had 11 last year, so it looks like he's trying to play the power game and willing to sacrifice some average. I'm sure he's not happy with 208 and a 310 on base.
He had a 2-homer game here at Wrigley Field on April 12th. As he hits a ground ball, Rizzo will peel off. Bias to Stroke for the out. Hitting under 200 since then. And he makes the second out of the ball game. That'll go 4-1. And our Verizon projected starters tomorrow. Nick Kingham, the rookie, right-hander for the Pirates. Lester, the veteran left-hander, putting together an all-star first half. Batter is Josh Harrison. Stroke looking for his 10th career save.
Harrison 0 for 9 in his career against Stroke.
That run at third doesn't matter in the big picture, but it does to the Cubs. Give them a run needlessly. Now 2-2. The atmosphere this week has been great. It always is here, but the press box was shaking literally when Hayward ended the game Wednesday night. Had a playoff type atmosphere yesterday. And the Cubs 1-run victory. And they're on their feet again today. The fly ball well hit to left. And it is caught! He did it again! What a game for Ian Happ. The hat trick in left. Cubs win. Cubs win. 3-1 the final.
Each one better than the one before. If I had a voice, I would really scream, but I can't. This is a spectacular play. A bid for extra bases by Harrison. Lays out, hauls it in. Beautiful.
What a way to end the ball game. I think Ian Happ's got a couple of free dinners from the pitching staff here over the next couple of weeks. Cubs 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Pirates 1 run, 9 hits, no errors. The Cubs are now tied with Milwaukee atop the division.
At 12 games better than 500 now. That's their high water mark. Ian Happ is going to be part of our 3-star selection without getting a base hit. He hit the ball hard his first 2 times up, but a frustrating day at the plate, but a brilliant day in the field.
The toast of the game is presented by Benny's Beverage Depot, and we're giving it to Mike Montgomery. Benny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs.
Well, 3rd start. They've all been very good today. 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 run. He only walked 1, struck out 1. 95 pitches. He had a lot of base runners, a lot of traffic to contend with. But as is the norm with Montgomery, a lot of outs on the ground, and when it was in the air, he got a little help from his friends.
We are set for our On the Diamond interview presented by James & Sons Fine Jewelers. Go ahead, Luke.
Thank you, Len. Here with Chris Bryant. Chris, 3 for 4 in the leadoff spot. I don't know if statistically you've replaced as the best leadoff man in the history of the Cubs, but how did it feel?
Honestly, it's just the first at bat. After that, it's pretty normal. You get into the flow of the game. You know, but I actually did it in college. My junior year, I hit leadoff pretty much the whole year. So, granted, they are different levels, but I've done it before. So it was fun. It was fun to be out there in the leadoff spot, and I don't know if I'll be there tomorrow. But
so you don't change the approach at all mentally as you're going up there the first time?
You know, it's hit or miss. You know, you think he's going to throw a fastball right down the middle of first pitch, but some guys don't. You know, today I thought he would, and I swung at the first pitch, but who knows? I mean, like I said, it's really just that first at bat. Once that's out of the way, then, you know, you just go with the flow of the game.
How about the effort from Mike Montgomery? That's his 3rd straight great start for you guys, and Ian Happ in left made some great plays.
Yeah, Mike has been great. I know he's wanted to start, and he's been showing why. I mean, he's got great stuff. He competes. So, and Ian out there, I mean, those are 3 of the, it's showing right now, 3 of the best catches I think I've seen all year. I mean, he's, you know, just goes to show you if you don't get it done at the plate, you can play defense, and it's pretty cool to watch him out there.
You guys move into a tie for first place with this win. You've won 10 of 12. What's been the key to this last 2-week stretch?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just guess, you know, we're playing to, you know, our talent and our ability, and we're winning games along the way. So, you know, we all know that we can do it. We've been a winning team for the last 3-4 years, and you know, we just knew it was a matter of time. So it's nice to see us rack up some wins.
Chris, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
You got it. Have a good one.
Chris Bryant, 3 for 4 in that leadoff spot. Len, JD, back up to you.
Chris will receive a $500 gift card from James & Sons Fine Jewelers. I love his honesty with Luke. I don't know, man. We're just winning. Sometimes you don't have to explain it. So that'll wrap things up for Doug Glanville, for Tom Waits, or maybe Phil Jackson, and our entire NBC Sports Chicago crew. Nice job by Luke as well. Len Casper saying, so long, your final score, Cubs 3, Pirates 1.
Like I do.
We're back with you Monday at 7 from Milwaukee as the Brewers and the Cubs will match up. Baby. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois postgame live is next. Take it away, Lou.
Maybe. Oh, my.